The NFL draft combine is now over. We can go ahead and transition into free agency. But on today's episode, we want to talk about some of the biggest winners and some of the biggest losers coming out of this weekend's NFL combine for the players. We are going to talk about Mathew Stafford staying in LA, Jair Alexander potentially being on the move, and Devontae Adams potentially being cut. And finally, what should those Cleveland Browns do now with the Abdul Carter news? Y'all know me and Steve are going to talk about it all and break it down, but you got to hit an intro first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm Bobby with Stevo. Make sure y'all hit that like button and tune in. Stevo, how you feeling, my boy?
Man, I'm trying to wake up sick, but no, I got the tea. This my third tea since last night. I got the orange juice on the side. I ain't going,
Hey,
but
my
I'm
man,
good.
you
I was
fighting
watching.
them.
I'm
They
fighting.
ain't
I
going
was
for it.
fighting them like Will Campbell Cleats was fighting that drill.
On the real, what?
That bad
Hey,
boy, he messed up. Rather, he rode the wrong cleats that day.
on the real,
We had,
boy.
we had turf, not grass. Will.
Trying to let you know, man. Talk to your trainer, big dog. Get in order.
Oh,
But Stevo, a lot of prospects, over 300 prospects participated in this weekend combine some way, somehow. Some did everything, some did some did nothing but go and do media. But let's talk about them winners first. On your list, who is one of the guys that you believe was a winner from the NFL combine this weekend?
I'm gonna come out and say my first one was Shamar Stewart, the edge out of Texas A&M. If you paid attention, eye test, he already had it. It was just a little few things like his weight that was a little bit concerning. I think during the time at Texas A&M, he hovered around the 285-pound range. I think he came into the draft combine weighing 167, so that was a plus. He was in the ranking in the 90th percentile in the jumping. He had a 40-inch vertical, a 10-11 broad jump. And he ran a 460.
Crazy work.
So I think he's somebody that was consistent during the combine, and he just did everything in his power. And I think, like I said, the weight thing, that was a big thing that's going to make him shoot up the draft boards, because that shows that he got another level of discipline and he's willing to listen to his criticisms out of college.
So before I give you my winner, so I just had a question about Stewart. Do you think that when you watch the tape, would that still be, when you watch the tape and you look at the production and then match it and marry it with the combine workout, do you think teams would kind of overlook some of those numbers that he was able to, you know what I'm saying, fill up in the box score, because it wasn't that many sacks that he was able to accumulate? But if you watch the tape, he's always in the backfield. He just can't finish the play. How you think that's going to help him or hurt him?
It's a little bit of both, because they're not going to ignore it at all. But I think what the biggest thing they're going to look at is his age. Like, by the time he get drafted, he might, not even. By the time he get drafted, he's still going to be 21 years old.
Okay.
He's 21 now, born in 2003. And the measurables, he's 6'5", 267 now.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to be willing to take the risk, because at the end of the day, we've seen multiple, even with our own team, we've taken projects just because of their combine and what their physical traits is. He has the physical traits. He's showing that he can penetrate the line and get back there. It's just about finishing, and that's polishing, that's coaching. So yeah, I think that's not going to necessarily hurt him. Now, if he was undersized, that would hurt him. You can't be undersized and raw. Like, that don't coincide.
For sure. I think that's fair. But one of my winners, I'm going to go straight off with the big boys up front. Stick with it. I'm going Armand Membao. Offensive lineman out of Mizzou. That big mofo, 332 pounds, ran a 4.9140. They put his numbers up beside Will Campbell, beside Tristan Wirfs, and beside Trent Williams. Not necessarily saying that he's going to be those guys, but when you look at the measurables, the athleticism, those are some traits that you really want to, you know what I'm saying, take into consideration, because we already knew that he was a hell of a talent on the offensive line that provided whoever team he's going to go to with some versatility. And when you see a big fella like that able to run a 4.9, that gives guys who want to run the ball or operate with that outside zone to get the big guys out there in space to knock defensive backs and linebackers out the way. Armand Minbow, bro, that looks really,
Yeah.
really good for him. So I'm gonna give him a win for this weekend, because that was impressive, especially at 332 running like that. And hey, last point, I think the man damn near borderline crazy and need to be checked in. Damn near every drive, including every drill, including the 40-yard dash, the man is yelling like his hair is on fire. He got a lot of hair on his head. He's yelling. I love it. I love it, bro.
So, when we did our old draft, my combine, Will was my one, and I was kind of mixture, but I was leaning towards Membow at 2 over Banks, because when it comes to running blocking, it's him and Kelvin. They got it. They're the best left tackles when it comes to run blocking. But why I have him over Banks? Banks just shown me, like, yeah, he can get pushed back, and his recovery needs some work. His hands need some work. Punching needs some work. Membow, he might get pushed back, but he's sturdy. He know how to hold that. He know how to recover. And like you said, them legs, that footwork is for real. Damn near elite. So when it came down to it, I knew that was probably going to be. He's one of my winners as well, because he was already high on my list. But if he ain't a certified first round pick, somebody tweaking.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Steve, I'm gonna kick off one of my next winners. I'm gonna go with Nick Amawore out of South Carolina, safety, 6'3", 280. We already know the film looks pretty damn impressive, but when you come in at 6'3", 280 as a safety and run a 4.3 40, that looks very, very impressive. Look, I don't know what his NFL career is going to look like, but when I see and hear about athletic safeties, I automatically think about those big fellas we used to see back there in the back end in Seattle, guys like Cam
Yep.
Chancellor, just big as hell, no reason, athletic as ever, and able to make plays. So I'm gonna go out there and say that he matched his workout with his film, and so I gotta give him a win. I gotta give him a win, especially for the guys in the defensive backfield, just to show some love to those guys.
Mhm.
Who your
Facts.
next winner, big dog?
Uh, how do I want to go with this? My first one was offense, right? Or was it
Yeah,
defense? Let me go deep. No, it was defense. It was defense. Let me
yeah,
go
defense.
offense.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I'm going to say Xavier's teammate at Texas, Matthew Golden.
He's on my list.
Matthew Golden had a impressive 40-yard dash with a 4.29. I think he finished with, and I think they also got a 10-yard sprint that he ran,
Yeah,
1.49.
crazy.
What the
Crazy.
hell? And like you said, like he got. I think when it comes to it, even though people gonna feel like it's a slight to him, it's really not. Isaiah's gonna do a lot to help him,
Yeah,
because with everything Isaiah did in the championship in his rookie year, if you get similar speed like that coming from Texas, he's gonna get looked at. So I think Matthew Golden definitely was a winner coming out of this weekend.
for sure. Let's talk about some of these losers, Stevo. Let's talk about Matthew Golden,
His
teammate.
teammate,
And the only
he
reason, like, I'm like, and the film is not bad on Isaiah Bond out of Texas, but
he
when
just
you come
lied.
out
He
and
just
put pressure on yourself to say, I'm about to break the 40-yard dash record, you
it
got to
wasn't even
do it.
it wasn't even close.
You got to do it. Like, bro, you completely dropped the ball. Like, and I'm gonna deem it as a loss because you brought attention to yourself for no reason.
Yes.
All you had to do is just answer a simple question. When you answer when he was asked that question, all he had to do is say, "Look, I'm gonna go out there and give my best effort, and I'm gonna go see what's to it." because you
Yep.
never know how things can, you know what I'm saying, pan out for you while doing these exercises, while you know what I'm saying, running these different drills. You never know how they'll pan out because as we seen with a lot of the guys out there, you can slip, you can stumble. We seen defensive linemen, offensive line, hell, DEs, athletic DEs slipping and tumbling. Hell, running backs leaning forward, damn near about to fall on their face during 40-yard dashes and other drills. So yeah, I got to start off with Isaiah Bond, bro. You put that pressure on you, and you wasn't even able to answer the call, big dog. So you got to be a
Yeah,
loser.
like, and then you didn't get close to it. Like, I think
Yeah,
he would have got a 440. Like, you can't go from I'm gonna get a 4.2 to a 440. Like that's 20
yeah,
seconds, bro.
the
Like, and
fuck,
like, I
bro.
remember I was arguing about Texas homie. You like, his form was just bad. I'm like, I don't think form would have helped him. If it did,
For
it,
real.
it probably would have got like a 4.35 at
Yeah,
best. But like, yeah, like he already got questions about is he really a complete wide receiver? Like a lot
right.
of people just see him as a deep threat. And if you ain't got that top of the notch speed, are you really that deep threat?
Yeah.
So
Mm,
yeah, like he put himself he's the reason why he's a loser. I wouldn't necessarily say his
for
performance
sure.
is the reason why he's a loser. He's the reason.
I
His
agree
mouth.
with that. I agree with that. Who you got, big dog, on your list?
Winner
A
or
loser.
loser? I gotta look at my own people from Oregon. Tez Johnson did not show up like I thought he was gonna do.
Oh my god.
I knew he was like fast, but I didn't think he was like super fast. So, but you can't be out there running fast quarterback times. I need wide receiver times. You can't go out there and run a five. What I think he
He
ran
ran a
a
4.5.
4.51. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's not enough, especially when you're gonna be a slot type of guy. You're not gonna be an X. So yeah, I think he's definitely faster than that, but it just wasn't a good day. But I do think he did his thing on a route tree.
Yeah. I agree with that. The route tree was much better. And to add on, because he was on my list, the man weighed in light. He weighed in light. So if you're gonna weigh in
Well, we
light,
do
you
that.
gotta have that speed right.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
For sure. So that'll be that. And then I got to talk about a quarterback. For those that don't know me, I'm a Michigan fan. So this is an opportunity to hate on Ohio State quarterback. Inaccuracy from Will Howard. You a loser. That was terrible. It was just bad. And I
Yeah,
understand.
I throw in another OU. That was
You,
terrible.
what's up?
On the defense, Jack Sawyer
What,
wasn't that
what the
good.
hell was he doing?
Not good at all.
That's why it was kind of surprising to me because Jack Sawyer, he was ranked higher than his teammate. Oh, damn, I can't remember the name right now. His teammate, the other Russia.
I know
Damn.
you talking about.
Tamalu or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiamalu or something like that. Jack Sawyer was ranked higher than him in most rankings, but I view the other his teammate who's the edge as being a better prospect. In Jack Sawyer, he dropped the ball, and Will Howard literally was just throwing the ball, not really hitting nobody. And the edge that I'm talking about is JT Tiamalu. I'm not. I know I'm screwing up the last name, so y'all don't kill me in the chat.
I think that's pretty correct.
But yeah, I view because I watched both of them. I thought JT was better than Jack, but Jack
He was way more explosive to me.
yeah.
JT was. He was way more explosive to me. The drills he did, especially the edge drills, way more cleaner. Foot was chopping. Yeah, Jack just looked like he came in 270 and it just wasn't working.
He was off them shrooms, big dog. He's in
You
that
shouldn't.
bit tweaking.
You can't be eating. You if it got Mike Tyson name on it, you gotta read the shit. You gotta pay attention. You never know
For
what's in it.
real, you don't know what Mike doing. But hey, we talked about those winners and losers for the combine. Down below, y'all let us know some of your winners and losers because there's a lot more winners and a lot more losers. Stevo, why do most of these outlets got Will Campbell as a loser? I understand
Just
the
because his
slipping, but
arms, just because the slipping, and he got T Rex arms. That's why.
it wasn't that far off though. I mean, I'm just saying, because
I mean, for a tackle, I don't care because I've seen enough on tape against long arm dudes that he's able to recover good
right.
enough. But you know how it is. They have for years they have a prototype of how they want
Right.
they left tackle, and he fits all of it but his arms.
Yeah, so I would say to hell with it. He don't need, you know what I'm saying, that much. But hey, y'all let us know how y'all feeling about that. Now, Stevo, in other NFL news, we got Mathew Stafford, who once at one point was granted permission to go out there and seek a trade out there. Ultimately, didn't like what he heard, came back and spoke with Sean McVay, and both sides agreed for Mathew Stafford staying in LA. Me personally, I think it's the best thing to do. I don't know why you
Yeah,
would want to move to another organization. Me personally, I would rather finish my career out in LA because of the coach, because of the GM, because of look how well your young defense played in the playoffs and throughout the season. They didn't have a great start to their season, but they finished strong and made, and you know what I'm saying, gave the Philadelphia Eagles a fight in the playoffs. They didn't get rolled over. They gave themselves a chance. I say you
yep.
touch up on a couple offensive skill positions and see if you can add some more on the defensive side, and you give yourself another shot. You give yourself another shot. How you feeling about those news about Mathew
And
Stafford?
that was my thing. I'm like, I don't know why you even considering leaving. You they had every opportunity to be the shocker of the playoffs. Like they was beating team, they got hot at the right time
Yeah,
during the season. And yeah, like I think if you rebuild this team correctly, why this is a place you should want to retire. You're in LA, you're with one of the best coaches in the league, you're in a place where people a destination that people want to go to. There's no real reason for you to be trying to get shipped around because you're gonna end up getting shipped somewhere you ain't trying to be.
facts. Cause I'm like, bro, did you forget you was in Detroit? Did you forget? Like,
Like
what
I
was
said, like yeah, usually quarterback leave a city that they're drafting them that's not that big, and they go to a big city. That's where they retire. So
right? So
I
what?
yeah, I don't know what he on.
For real. All right. So in the other news, we hearing about Jair Alexander from the Green Bay Packers, cornerback, Pro Bowl, All Pro cornerback, who I believe is overrated at this point in his career. That's just me, Jair Alexander. But
Yeah, one good year. I ain't trying to hit.
on the real, but they saying he might be on the move. I say Green Bay, y'all need to be trying to keep your talent on the defensive side. I get it, you know what I'm saying, but you should be trying to keep what you got and improve. He has been dealing with some injuries these past few seasons, though. If we keeping it a grand, but I would say, hey, if y'all trying to move him, hey, that's on y'all. I will be trying to keep the talent in the room. The only way you look to move Jair Alexander is if you're trying to free up cap space so you can bring in a true number one wide receiver if you're the Green Bay Packers. How you view that?
Um, I don't know. I kind of feel like you hear the rumblings around Jair, you hear the rumblings around Green Bay. Kind of feel like that first time we heard Debo going back and forth with the 49ers, like I feel like we're going down that path
Yeah,
because I just don't think the relationship is as strong as it could be or it
I
should
agree with
be.
that.
And but from a football standpoint, you shouldn't be trying to get rid of them. Like, if anything, y'all had a pretty solid of defense, if not good defense. You had a good secondary. You had a good O line. I mean D line. Linebackers is the ones that need some work. But if
Right.
you already got pretty much a solidified secondary, I wouldn't be trying to move the biggest piece out of there.
I'm with you on that. I think that's we're gonna let it see. There's gonna be more news coming out soon. Y'all talking about uh more franchise tags, more cuts, and everything will be in. So y'all just make sure y'all lock in. Stevo. Another one. Devontae Adams might be a cut candidate for the New York Jets, set to make $38 million in 25. But if they cut him, he'll be a dead cap hit of about 7 million if we rounding that up. You think the Jets should just go ahead and part ways with him?
No, you should trade them. That's what you should do. I don't know why y'all sending
You
it.
going for the fifth?
I'm getting a three at least. Fuck that.
The
But
Niners got themselves a fifth.
I'm just saying, like to me, it's just weird to me that y'all will do this whole thing, get your quarterback here. It ain't work out. Now you release him, and knowing the person, the wide receiver you brought him in was to make that a meeting again. So you're just putting yourself in a hole. You did this to yourself. Like at the end of the day, your GMs didn't do the proper things. They didn't realize that Aaron was on his way out. He done. And y'all thought that a new scenery was gonna bring back old Aaron, but old Aaron is in the cave somewhere, and he ain't coming back out. I'm just saying, he on the darkness. The first time we seen that motherfucker go to a darkness to retreat, I think his NFL powers are still in Oregon in that cave
Oh God.
because I ain't seen Aaron since then.
Yeah.
I've been
That's
Roger.
motherfucker definitely been Roger. But I agree with you on the whole Devontae Adams thing. I think you gotta move him. Like regardless, whether you cut him or you trade him, you gotta let him go. Because to your point, that's an Aaron Rodgers guy. And I think that if you're trying to change the culture, you got to move some pieces around. Now you can sit down and have a conversation with him and see how you feeling about the state of the team. But I still think that if you want to go ahead and allow the new head coach Aaron Glenn to have an opportunity to build his own culture, you gotta wash the stank off from the old regime and then the old quarterback too. And you gotta move forward. Look, I know I know Stevo, you put out the third, but shit, if I can go out there and get a fourth, we'll live with it. As long as it's going to a decent squad. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now, Stevo, before we get up out of here, after looking at this draft combine, just kind of circling back
Yeah.
to that, Abdul Carter had that injury news, and the Browns, they're gonna have to probably pivot. So, and they didn't get an opportunity to see Abdul Carter. They're gonna have to wait. But we're not going off the pro day, we're going off the combine. At least for now, after the combine, do you think the Browns will pivot away from Abdul Carter into another direction?
Yeah, I think they just gonna go ahead and keep Miles like they've been saying they was actually gonna do. Go ahead and keep at Miles and just go grab your quarterback. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest issue they need to set right. Because you ain't gonna bring in a backup that's gonna sustain the season long enough, and you're not gonna have you're not Deshaun done. Like
Yeah.
he done ruptured his Achilles twice. Like
Mm.
that's just something you shouldn't be banking on no more. So the damage is done. You're gonna have to pay him what you got to pay him, but at least you can start fresh and get you a quarterback. So I feel like you should just go away from Carter, keep Miles, and go get Cam Ward, and we'll start the process of rebuilding this franchise again.
Oh, the real again. Hey, Steve-O, I love a lot what you said. But if we doing hindsight is 2020, the Browns ain't been right since they didn't treated Baker Mayfield wrong. The only quarterback that got y'all to a playoff. Now, I think Joe Flacco helped them out one year,
Yeah,
but the guy that would have provided you some stability, if you would have just locked in with him instead of trying to be too thirsty and go out and get Deshaun Watson after knowing everything that you knew, because before you even traded for the guy, I think they knew it was already rumblings that there was some cases out there on him on this off the field stuff. And you still elected to go out there, be thirsty, and give him a fully guaranteed contract. So I'm with you. I think they should just pivot, go ahead and draft your next quarterback, whether that's Cam or Shador. You got to get one of them at least. I would say that. And then you just have one of them being coached up, sitting, chilling, and hell, maybe even starting, because who's to say that Deshaun Watson is going to be ready to go at the start of this season?
he ain't it out. If he is, science then got too good, too damn good. Because
For real.
a torn Achilles or ruptured Achilles itself is almost a 2-year process.
Right.
To rupture it in the middle of it already damn near being fixed again, you fixed it and it ruptures again.
Yeah.
Shit, that may be a 3 to 4 year process, and we ain't even talking about the mental process of the game. So,
Facts.
and we already feel like that shoulder. I feel like that shoulder injury he had while playing messed up his mental. So God knows what this Achilles is doing to him.
For real. So we'll see, man. But hey,
Pick your
Steve.
quarterback. That's all I
Oh
gotta say.
God, that's it. But Steve, you got anything else before we roll out of here, bro?
Nah.
Well, man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Stay lockstep with us. We're going to keep this thing rolling. Let us know your thoughts and everything down below. We talked about those winners and losers of the combine. We talked about some of these guys staying in a place, potentially moving out of a place. Let us know everything down below. And before y'all get up out of here, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are the #1 spot for everything NFL. This is NFL Central. I'm Bobby. That's Stevo. We're going to catch y'all on the next for sure.
Peace.